In the quiet town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, nestled between the rolling hills and winding rivers, an ominous presence lurked in the shadows. It was the fall of 1966, and the townspeople found themselves gripped by an unspoken fear that permeated the crisp night air. Whispers of strange sightings and inexplicable occurrences had begun to circulate. But it wasn't until a series of unsettling events unfolded that the town would come face to face with the legendary creature known as the Mothman. One autumn evening, a group of friends gathered near the abandoned West Virginia Ordnance Works, a desolate area shrouded in an eerie silence. As they explored the deserted grounds, a sense of foreboding settled upon them. The air became thick with tension, and an inexplicable unease crept through their veins. It was then that they first encountered the Mothman, a towering figure with immense wings, eyes that glowed an otherworldly red, and a disconcerting sense of malevolence. The friends, paralyzed by fear, watched in horror as the creature unfurled its wings, casting a nightmarish silhouette against the moonlit sky. The Mothman fixated its piercing gaze upon them before vanishing into the shadows, leaving only a haunting sense of dread in its wake. As the days passed, the Mothman sightings multiplied, spreading fear like wildfire throughout Point Pleasant. Witnesses described a looming figure that seemed to materialize at the edge of darkness, its presence accompanied by an otherworldly hum that echoed through the night. The once tranquil town became a place haunted by the spectral winged entity, and the community lived in perpetual fear of the unknown. As the legend of the Mothman grew, so did the ominous premonitions that accompanied its sightings. Disturbing dreams plagued those who had crossed paths with the creature. Visions of impending disaster and unspeakable tragedy, and the air hung heavy with an impending sense of doom, casting a pall over the town that refused to dissipate. In the winter of 1967, the ominous forebodings reached a chilling climax. The townspeople, still haunted by the Mothman's presence, found themselves on the brink of an unimaginable catastrophe. The Silver Bridge, a vital artery connecting Point Pleasant to the neighboring Ohio town of Gallipolis, collapsed into the icy waters of the Ohio River. The tragedy claimed the lives of 46 people, their fate seemingly intertwined with the malevolent entity that had cast its shadow over Point Pleasant. The Mothman, a harbinger of doom, had foretold the impending disaster through the haunting visions that visited those who had glimpsed its ethereal form. In the aftermath of the Silver Bridge collapse, the Mothman sightings ceased as mysteriously as they had begun. Point Pleasant, forever changed by the spectral presence that had gripped the town, became a place haunted by the memories of tragedy and loss. The legend of the Mothman endured as a dark chapter in the town's history, a chilling reminder of the supernatural forces that had once walked among them, leaving a trail of fear and devastation in their wake. In the wake of the Silver Bridge disaster, Point Pleasant became a town forever marked by the specter of the Mothman. The survivors, haunted by the inexplicable events that had unfolded, grappled with an unspoken understanding that the creature had been a portent of tragedy. The once tight-knit community found itself fractured, its collective grief mingling with a sense of lingering dread. Whispers of the Mothman continued to echo through the town. Tales of glowing red eyes and foreboding dreams shared in hushed tones. Some claimed that the creature had been a warning, a supernatural entity attempting to alert the townspeople to the impending disaster. Others believed it to be an omen, an embodiment of the darkness that had descended upon Point Pleasant. As the years passed, the legend of the Mothman endured, weaving itself into the fabric of the town's identity. The abandoned West Virginia Ordnance Works, once a site of terror, became a place of quiet reflection and collective remembrance. Memorials were erected to honor the lives lost in the Silver Bridge collapse, and the town sought solace in the shared narrative that had emerged from the shadows. Yet, the Mothman had not faded entirely from the collective consciousness of Point Pleasant. Every so often, a resident would report a sighting, and the familiar hum that accompanied the creature's presence would momentarily pierce the tranquility that had settled over the town. The legacy of the Mothman persisted as a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring mysteries that lay just beyond the realm of understanding. In the autumn of 1975, a local historian named Emily, driven by an insatiable curiosity, delved into the archives in an attempt to unravel the mysteries surrounding the Mothman. As she pored over old newspaper clippings and eyewitness accounts, she became consumed by the enigma that had cast its shadow over Point Pleasant. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily embarked on a journey that would lead her to the heart of the Mothman legend. Late one evening, as Emily explored the desolate remnants of the West Virginia Ordnance Works, she felt a sudden chill in the air. The haunting hum that had become synonymous with the Mothman enveloped her, and she found herself face to face with the mythical creature. Its towering form cast a silhouette against the moonlit sky, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly intensity. For a moment, Emily stood frozen, her breath caught in her throat. The Mothman regarded her with an inscrutable gaze, as if inviting her to comprehend the mysteries that lingered in the air. In a moment of profound connection, Emily glimpsed the creature's sorrow, an ancient sadness that transcended the boundaries of time. As quickly as it had appeared, the Mothman vanished into the night, leaving Emily with a newfound understanding. The legend, she realized, was not merely a tale of terror, but a complex narrative woven with threads of warning and lamentation. The Mothman, a guardian of forgotten stories, had emerged from the shadows to impart a message that transcended the confines of Point Pleasant. In the years that followed, the Mothman sightings became less frequent, and the town gradually reclaimed a semblance of normalcy. Emily, forever changed by her encounter, became the keeper of the Mothman's legacy, ensuring that the stories and the lessons embedded within them endured. The legend persisted, not as a harbinger of doom, but as a reminder of the town's resilience in the face of darkness, and the enduring mysteries that bound them to the ethereal realm of the Mothman. Over the years, Emily dedicated herself to preserving the intricate tapestry of Point Pleasant's history, which now included the enigmatic presence of the Mothman. She sought to unravel the threads connecting the creature to the collective consciousness of the town, delving into the archives and speaking with those who had experienced its haunting presence. The once feared legend became a focal point for introspection and exploration, a symbol of Point Pleasant's resilience in the face of the unknown. As Emily's research deepened, she discovered that the Mothman's appearances had not been isolated to moments of impending disaster. There were accounts of the creature manifesting in times of personal tribulation, offering a strange solace to those who found themselves at the crossroads of fate. It seemed the Mothman was not solely a harbinger of doom, but a spectral guardian that traversed the liminal spaces between the living and the unknown. With each revelation, Emily's understanding of the Mothman evolved. It became clear that the creature was intricately linked to the town's psyche, a manifestation of its collective fears and aspirations. Yet, the question of its origin and purpose remained elusive, as if the Mothman itself sought to remain an enigma forever shrouded in mist. One winter evening, as Point Pleasant lay cloaked in a hushed blanket of snow, Emily found herself drawn once again to the West Virginia Ordnance Works. The abandoned site, once a source of fear, now held a quiet reverence. As she wandered through the skeletal remains of buildings, Emily felt the familiar chill in the air and heard the haunting hum that signaled the presence of the Mothman. This time, the creature materialized not as a harbinger of doom, but as a silent guardian, its eyes radiating an otherworldly warmth. In that moment, Emily sensed a communion between the living and the ethereal, a shared understanding that transcended the boundaries of mortal existence. The Mothman, with its wings spread wide, seemed to convey a message of acceptance and renewal. As quickly as it had appeared, the Mothman retreated into the shadows, leaving Emily standing alone in the quiet darkness. The air, no longer heavy with foreboding, now held a sense of profound peace. It was as if the Mothman, in its silent vigil, had bestowed upon the town a newfound sense of unity and resilience. In the years that followed, the Mothman became an integral part of Point Pleasant's identity. Its legend was no longer one of fear, but of a quiet understanding that life, like the creature itself, was a delicate balance between the seen and the unseen. The town, forever changed by the mysteries that had unfolded within its borders, embraced the legacy of the Mothman as a reminder that, in the face of uncertainty, there existed a bond that transcended the realms of the living and the unknown. And so the legend endured, a testament to the enduring spirit of Point Pleasant and the spectral guardian that had woven its wings into the very fabric of the town's history. The Mothman, a silent witness to the passage of time, remained an enigmatic figure, forever etched into the collective memory of those who called Point Pleasant home.